Hey everyone, Gobotch here, back today with a brand new news update today for Warface Breakout. As we are jumping in, the developers have posted on their website at playbreakout.com a developers update on our feedback as players, where they are addressing all the different issues and problems that have been happening with the game since its release earlier this week and whatnot. So today's video, we're just going to break down all of the different issues that have been addressed and when we can expect some of those changes to come and what exactly those changes will entail. So this is not patch notes or anything. There's not an update that has officially been released yet. They said there will be an update to come by the end of this week, but this is just some of the issues that they have clearly addressed. This is kind of a follow-up to our other news video we did earlier, but we're going to jump into it spot by spot, topic by topic here. Let's get into it. But if you enjoyed this news video today for Warface Breakout, hit that thumbs up, comment down below with your thoughts, and feel free to join the Gobotch family, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. But without further ado, let's jump in today to the news for Breakout. Okay, so first things first, they start off in the post by saying game freezes. So they said after a series of tests, we managed to figure out the cause of most of these freezes. So like the micro stutters we've been seeing, they said this happens due to several interfaces loading at the same time. In our next patch coming on both consoles this week, we have reworked some of the interfaces to avoid this. So this should be fixing most of the freezes happening in the match. In our next patches, we will keep dealing with this problem, making the freezes happen less and less frequently and eventually disappear altogether. So the game freezes, the micro stutters we've been seeing that sometimes lead to ghost kills and stuff like that. They said they're aware of it, they know how to fix it. They're going to implement that into a patch on both PS4 and Xbox that will be coming by the end of this week. So look forward to game freezes hopefully being a little less frequent with the upcoming patch that will be coming in the coming days. Moving on to the next category here, we had movement and hit registration. This was already touched up in the last post that they had earlier in the week, but here it is. They say this nasty problem that frustrates both you and us has a top priority in our team right now. We are already working on improving the hit registration, applying and testing different types of netcode and movement patterns. And once we deal with the freezes problem, which we talked about prior, the game freezes, once they fix that freeze problem, then they'll work on the netcode. It'll be twice as intensive to be able to fix the movement and hit registration issues. So just like with the freezes, this problem cannot be solved straight away in one patch, but they're going to continue to fix this one by one, step by step, patch by patch until it's all fixed and done. So that's the biggest two things they're fixing first. First is game freezes, then they're going to move on to hit registration and movement. After that, I think the game will run a lot smoother than we're seeing right now, and it's just going to be so much more enjoyable for everybody, especially in the competitive field. Moving on to the next category, you had squads getting matched to opposing teams. So if you've been teaming, I've done this of course with my buddies on Xbox as well, especially if you're going more than duos. If you're usually 3, 4, 5, if you're trying to run a full team comp, it is highly likely that you're going to end up getting your team kind of split up. Maybe you'll be like 3 on one team, 2 on the other, or maybe you'll have 4 on one team and 1 on the other. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, but they said this is a problem that will be fixed in the coming patch this week. So the squads getting mixed matched on opposing teams, that will be addressed and hopefully fixed in the patch that's coming by the end of this week. So thank goodness, team over there, My.Games, for Warface Breakout. Good job on y'all getting that done, hopefully, in this upcoming patch. Moving on to FPS drops here, they said we have carefully collected some statistics about FPS drops, that is, on which maps they happen and under which circumstances that it makes the drops happen. We are now analyzing the data to improve the performance and decrease the frequency of FPS drops, and will deliver the first FPS fixes in one of the future patches. So not this upcoming patch, but in future patches that will be coming. They're going to fix the FPS drops, they say. Then we will collect the data again, we'll run more tests, and keep fixing the FPS drops until we have eliminated the vast majority of the situations when they happen. So good job on them right there. Again, they're not saying it's going to happen in this upcoming patch that's coming by the end of this week, but in future patches following, they will be focusing and trying to hammer out the FPS drop issues that we have been seeing. Moving on to the next category, we had Footstep Sounds, and this is a major one for me because sound is so pivotal in these types of games. So let's see what they have to say about Footstep Sounds. They said, we will improve the Footstep Sounds in the patch coming this week. So much is coming in this first patch. Y'all can't wait. They still, we will keep listening to your feedback on the new sounds, and we will introduce further fixes if they are needed. So another big thing, they're working on, you know, connectivity and the drops, the frame issues and stuff like that, but they're also going to work on the Footstep Sounds with this upcoming patch. So look forward to that. We may, whenever the new patch does roll out live, we'll probably record some footage for that, and we'll kind of maybe we'll do like a before and after type situation. So we'll see what the steps will look like now and sound like now after the patch comes out later this week. All right, moving on to this. This is big for me since I play a lot of hardcore. Team kills and hardcore. We know this problem is incredibly frustrating. Yeah, it is. Absolutely, it is. We see you reporting this everywhere, and we witness it ourselves when we jump into hardcore matches and someone starts ruining it. It happens all the time. It really does. They said, right now we are already testing the penalty system for team killers, and we are planning to introduce it into one of our nearest patches in June. Okay, so again, if you're not familiar with this, if you don't play hardcore, basically there is friendly fire, so you can kill your teammates accidentally or intentionally, and sometimes people just get in there, and I'm convinced they're just the little twerps that just want to get in there and ruin games, like a bunch of just jerks, basically what it is. But they get in there and they just start killing you, and it makes the match just, you know, it throws the match, you end up losing. They don't get booted after they do it a couple of times or anything like that, like Rainbow Six Siege will do, where we'll put them on a penalty, and then if they do it again, Siege actually has a really good way of that. So let's say in Siege, and I think maybe this game should implement this as well. So if you team kill in Rainbow Six Siege, it gives you a warning, like a penalty, like don't do it again. And then if you do it again the next round, instead of it killing the person you were trying to kill, it kills you. So let's say I killed my buddy my first round. It warns me. It says don't do that again, otherwise it will eliminate yourself. And then if I try to kill him again the next round, it instead kills me, and then he could be thrown out of the lobby. People can vote to kick you out, and I think that's a system they really probably should try to implement into Breakout, especially because team killing cannot be something that happens in competitive play and ranked when that comes about. So keep an eye on team kills being addressed in the future. All right, this is for some of you overseas, out of the States, here in Australia and in Oceania, for servers. They said, we know it's hard to play a competitive game while having a high ping. Amen to that, it sure as heck is. And they said in Singapore, servers are too far away right now. We are glad that our game has received so much appreciation in Oceania and Australian regions, and we are planning to install an Australian server as soon as we get the equipment to do so. Naturally, when this happens, we will tell you about that in a separate news article. So if you're a player for Oceania or Australia, they're aware that there's a fan base there. They just don't have the equipment available to make those servers happen yet, but they are planning on that in the near future. So look forward to that, and if you're waiting on those servers. All right, moving on here, weapons getting jammed after reloading. This has personally happened to me. I don't have footage of it right now or anything like that, but many of you probably have had the same issue as well. So we are aware of the problem and currently investigating it. It's a reproduction pattern, seems random now, so our QA team is trying to find the factors leading to this issue. We'll appreciate any help with this, so if you encounter this problem, try capturing it and sending it to us in social networks. So again, I encourage this as well. If it happens to me when I'm recording or streaming, I'll definitely be sure to clip it out. So basically what happens when it has happened a handful of times to me, it normally happens when I'm using my burst fire guns, the PM or the MPX. So basically I'm shooting, you click to reload, and then as soon as you're getting that clip put into the gun and you're getting ready to shoot again, your gun jams up and you can't shoot anymore. And I'm thinking maybe what's happening is I'm trying to shoot as I'm still reloading, and somehow that jams it up with the gun. The game just screws up. I don't know exactly, but weapon jams are happening in the game right now. It does lead to some frustrating deaths in key spots, so hopefully they can fix whatever the issue is happening there and get that done. So if you see that happening, capture it, y'all. Send it into send it into the Warface Breakout developers on their social media platforms. Let them know, and let's try to get that fixed as well. So another big glitch here is players spawning in the middle of the map. I've seen this happen. Hasn't happened for me, but I've seen others do this. They say, thank you for letting us know about this problem. Our team has already found the solution. We'll try to install it on live servers as soon as possible. So at least they're aware of the issue and what it was and how to fix it. that'll happen soon, because again, that can be a very breaking issue if people know how to spawn in the middle of the map and they can still do their buys, and then they just get a quick plant off or spawn kills, heaven forbid. That could be a major issue, but they're aware of the problem and know how to fix it. All right, moving on as we're going down towards, we still got quite a bit recovering here. There's so much happening here, y'all, so just buckle up. We still got quite a bit. Unclear progression. Thanks to our most dedicated players who already played as much as they have and finished the initial progression, we have found out that the progression number is not displayed after level 50, which I've gotten to 50 and I've leveled a couple times past that, but there's no other levels yet. It does change your decal continuing, but that's it. They said we are planning to introduce a fix to that in the nearest patch. We'll also work on a better display of mastery levels, high levels of 100 to 200, etc. that will come in later patches. So for those of us that are sweaty, they're just playing this game all the time, that reach the 50 level now, you're gonna, whenever another patch comes out, not the newest one, but another patch later, they said they're gonna try to address that to where it shows more progression going forward to levels 100, 200, etc., etc., etc. Very good for us that are looking for mastery levels going up higher and higher. Moving on to incorrect damage counters. Right now, the damage counter is not as efficient as we thought it to be. We will rework it to show all the incoming damage, not only some part of what is happening or nothing at all. However, the counter will only count the damage you dealt to the player that killed you. This is something we are planning to introduce within June, so it's not coming right away. I've seen this happen personally numerous times, and it can be incredibly frustrating where you're basically trying, like, you get killed by somebody and it says they did 5 damage or something like that, so it's just not accurate at all. So they're aware of the issue there. They're going to fix the damage counters and try to get that hammered out in a coming patch later on this June. Okay, moving on to something else right here. This is a boxes in possession shown as hollow. It is indeed misleading when you have a box, but it is still shown as a hologram in the box menu. Thank you for noticing this. We'll change it as soon as we can. This will be fixed in one of the next patches. So I guess there's times where it says you have a box, but then you click on it and it actually is just a hollow box. There's nothing actually there. They're aware of this. If people are missing out on their boxes after levels and whatnot, they're aware of the problem. They're going to try to fix that. All right, something I'm actually really excited for various reasons. This is custom rooms and a spectator mode. These are features that need quite a lot of development resources, yet they play a very important role in every competitive game, absolutely. And we are already working on implementation for them this year. So this means for those of us that are trying to play competitive play with a team or want to do private games where you're not having to worry about people throwing matches or screwing up your matches or whatnot, they're going to make custom rooms so you can do those private matches or maybe just do practice or whatever you need to do, and spectator mode, so that'll really help for the competitive feel whenever they do esports for this game and whatnot. Spectator mode is huge for that, and it's also important for you if you want to study your gameplay and stuff like that. So custom rooms, spectator mode, coming later this year, they say. All right, another one here, grenade trajectory display. We are not planning to do this, they said. So basically when you press your grenade button in some games, it shows you kind of like your arc of where your grenade would go if you threw it. That's not in the game currently, and they're not planning on adding it to the game. But they say in the future, you'll have a special training game mode where it is possible for you to test your weapons, including grenades. So if you want to get better with the grenade tosses, that's something they're going to be implementing into the game later at some point. But do not expect a trajectory display for your grenades or flashes or smokes at all coming into the game. They're not planning on doing that, and I think that's fine because that's more of a skill gap between those that are not good at throwing frags and some that are. There's your skill gap, get better. Moving on to weapons on the bomb preventing defuse. This has happened to me. They said this problem will be fixed in one of the nearest patches in June. So this happens whenever, let's say, the bomb is right next to a dead body and you're going to try to defuse the bomb, but instead of it showing the bomb, it shows a gun right there. So then it switches to that gun. And then when you want to get the bomb, now it switches back to the other gun and just keeps switching, and you can never get to the bomb defuse, and it can lead to the loss of the round. Very, very frustrating, but they're aware of it, and they're going to try to fix that coming in June. Another one I'm really excited about here, y'all, is improved statistics. We're working on every point of statistics we can log right now so that your stats will not be limited to just your KD ratio and your playtime. We hope that soon we'll be able to give you more information on which stats you'll be able to track in the nearest updates. So this is huge for me, especially every competitive player likes to see their stats. They would like to know For me personally, I want to know my weapon stats, what my stats are with each gun I use. I would like to know my stats on each map I play on, and I like to know my win-loss ratio and things like that. So I think the more detailed, the better. Hopefully they flesh that out more very, very soon, but look forward to improved stats coming in some of their nearest patches. Going down the list a little bit further, we're almost done, y'all. We have a handful, just 4 or 5 left, I think, right here. Weapon balance, again, I'm a big SMG roller out there, but they say this is something we're honing in on constantly under feedback. Nearest patches, for example, will feature a quicker ADS time for all snipers, so for quick sniping and stuff like that, which would buff this weapon class significantly and make way for professional sniping. So all you quick snipes out there, look forward. One of the upcoming patches, they're going to make the ADS for sniping that much faster and will help you out, and other changes will be coming as well. So it's still a work in progress, but do expect weapon changes and balance changes to happen coming in the near future. All right, so something else here for me, I love having a frame of view slider, FOV slider, that will be coming. They're saying, so they said, they're going to say this: let us be completely open with you. The increase of FOV might significantly influence the FPS issue, so we won't do this until we can fix the FPS drops currently happening in our game. Once we see that FPS drops are no longer an issue, then they will start to work on an FOV slider. So this is something I do hope they get around to eventually. I like a FOV slider to be a little bit wider so I can see more on my screen. But they said they will not address FOV at all yet until they hammer out the FPS. I admire that, I respect it. So look forward to changes on that maybe happening later on down the road. Okay, bomb timer in casual mode. Thanks for this suggestion. It is indeed a very useful one. We'll try to implement it in one of the nearest updates already. Okay, however, we are planning to do it for casual mode only. The absence of the timer makes matches quite intense, and I could agree to that. So basically, if you're playing hardcore ranked or whatever they're going to do for competitive, there will not be a timer at all for the bomb, for defuse or whatnot. You're just going to have basically have the cues for the music down and feel it out yourself. But for casual mode, expect in a update down the line here a bomb timer to be available in casual mode. All right, and the last one they have in today's news video is Equip Now button for skins. Again, another suggestion that will be making its way in the end of June. Where basically, you know, when you're making your skins, it has an Equip Now button. That way you can just put it on immediately instead of having to go through all the menu systems. But that's it, y'all. That is it from the Warface Breakout team. It's a whole bunch of information. So much is going to come to this game. Some of it at the end of this week that I'm very, very excited about. There are performance issues that are going to be fixed and foot sounds that are going to be fixed. And a lot more to come all through June and going on throughout the rest of the summer and this year. But look forward to more news being covered here on the channel for Warface Breakout in the near future, and gameplay as well. I hope you're enjoying all the content. I'm absolutely having a blast covering this game. But thank you all so much for your continued support. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you liked today's news video, hit that thumbs up and comment down below. But please, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe out there. Have a great rest of your day as always. And we'll see you all back here in the next video. Y'all take it easy.